What's up, YouTube? And I released a video last night and my phone powered off and my phone's at 42, so I decided that that's a good number. So my phone shut down. I didn't get to stop it, so it did not record. It's not on my screen, so I cannot post it. So I had to go rewatch the videos that I watched. So I'm watching a girl named Snarled, and she's really scary. Like, some of her things are hard to pronounce, like Hachikachu Sama something, but I'm gonna be watching it. So my new friend, okay, I haven't watched that, and I have not watched the Kelpie of Scotland. You know what? I'm gonna watch different things because I don't want to watch the same things. So obviously, I'm not gonna be under this cover because it's creepy, very creepy. If you hear my brother and his friends, my family hates me. Okay, so first we're gonna watch. Okay, I'm coming down. First we're gonna watch My New Friend. Then we're gonna watch The Kelpie of Scotland. So I did not watch these last.
Hey Ottings, it's your Ate Sapphire.
I'm just gonna watch this because I watched the other two and I don't want to watch this over again. It's gonna be boring. So
I want to tell you about one of our sponsors before we get into this week's story.
But yeah. So like I said, what's her name? Snarled, whatever, Sapphire, whatever. She has really scary videos. I had to force myself to stop watching her, and I decided to watch her for you guys. So please subscribe to her channel. She's the best. I don't know. I used to watch her on my old phone, so I didn't subscribe yet. I haven't even watched the video. I'm gonna like it. Okay, I'm not gonna dislike it. So yeah. So we're gonna watch the video now once my screen. Oh my god.
Hey Ottings, it's your Ate Sapphire.
Okay, my screen's acting right. Okay, but anyway, let's watch the video.
Tell you about one of our sponsors before we get into this week's story. If you're like me and think buying bras is a nightmare, then let me tell you about Third Love. Third Love is an inclusive bra company with 78 bra sizes, including their signature half cup sizes. It's one of the largest ranges in the industry. So no matter what size you are, Third Love has a bra made just for you. And with their online Fit Finder quiz, you can find your bra from the comfort of your home. So when I took the quiz, I answered questions about my breast shape and size and problems that I've had with most bras. After the quiz, I was recommended the Classic Contour Plunge Bra because it has memory foam inserts to even out my asymmetrical boobs. And I was not disappointed. Not only did it fit me, but the band is soft and stretchy, the straps don't slip, and there's no itchy tag. Third Love is so confident that you'll love your new bra that they give you 60 days to wear it and wash it. And if you still don't love it, you can return or exchange it for free. It's that easy. Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now, they're offering Something Scary listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/SS. Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary?
I watched
My New Friend.
almost all of the videos, like literally almost.
The following is based on a story submitted by Ollie.
I was trying to remember what I was trying to say.
What I'm about to tell you is going to sound impossible. And honestly, if it didn't actually happen to me, I probably wouldn't believe me either. I'm sort of known for being a little theatrical. I can't help it. I just love entertaining my friends. So one day after class, I was telling another one of my ridiculous stories to my classmates who had all gathered around me. And among them was a new face, a boy I hadn't seen before. He looked a little nervous. He kept glancing around at everyone and lightly giggling along. I figured he must have been new. I finished my story and everyone dispersed. Everyone except the new kid. So I introduced myself. Hi, I'm Ollie. Eric, he replied, rather robotically. Are you new here? Yes. Cool. Well, I'm headed that direction. Do you want to join me? Yes. As we walked and talked, Eric seemed to warm up a bit. I asked him where he transferred from, and he said that he'd been homeschooled up until recently. I just want to be a normal kid, he said. And I'll do anything I can to help, I told him. I told him that he could join me in all my after-school activities and hang out with me and my friends. And so he did. Over the next month, we spent a lot of time together. We both auditioned for the school musical. I got a lead, but Eric didn't, so he became a techie behind the scenes instead. Then one week, Eric told me that he was going to throw a party at his place while his parents were out. He told me that he was going to invite people individually because he didn't want too many people finding out. I thought it was a little bit of overkill, but I respected his wishes and didn't tell any of my friends about the party. Friday night came. I knocked on his apartment door. I remember thinking it was eerily quiet and thought that I had arrived too early. Eric opened the door and welcomed me in. And I was immediately confused. Not only was nobody else there was nothing else. No furniture, no fridge or stove, basic apartment things. There was none of it. It was completely empty. The door slammed shut and the lock slid into place. Where's all your stuff? I asked, hesitantly. Stuff? He asked, with a genuine look of confusion on his face. You know, like tables and chairs? Oh, so houses need tables and chairs. Thanks for the note, Eric replied. That's why I like you, Ollie. You would do anything to help me. I started to feel a little lightheaded.
Nope.
My vision began to blur. I'm only going to borrow you for a little bit, if that's okay. It was slowly getting harder and harder to breathe. I was too weak to say anything. I fell to the ground, unconscious. When I came to, I looked around. Eric was nowhere. I had no idea how long I was out for, but I remember thinking that it only felt like 10 minutes or so had passed. I made a run for the door and ran back home. I found my mom in the living room. Mom, there's something I need to tell you. There's our star. How was the show tonight? My mom asked. What are you talking about? Closing night, silly. Did it go well? The musical isn't for like 6 months, Mom. My mom laughed at me. I pulled out my phone to check the date, but it was dead. I grabbed my mom's. 6 months. It had been 6 months since I fell unconscious in Eric's empty apartment. How is that possible? I tried to explain everything that happened to me about Eric and the weird apartment, but my mom thought I was just trying to be funny. The worst part is, I asked my friends the next morning about Eric, and they all acted like he never existed. They think that I'm making up everything for attention, but they hung out with him. He was real. I don't know how this happened, but I do know that wasn't me for the last 6 months. It was Eric, living my life without my permission. And I have no idea where he is right now. So please, please, be careful out there. Thank you to all of our patrons, especially Eric, who had a character named after them in this episode.
That is weird. So the only ones that I'm seeing so far that I have not seen is Beware the Boomkin, the Art of the Kill, My Family Hates Me, and The Kelpa of Scotland. And if you want me to watch more, then let me know. If there's any videos you want me to watch, then tell me the names in the comments down below. And that one wasn't as scary, and it made me really mad. He lives his life, and now I need to be careful about who I'm picking as friends. Sorry, I'm looking at the TV. It's like Mario. It looks like it's a long way away. Like, okay, that's not right. You can't really see it. But look, we're gonna watch this, and if you want me to watch another one of these, just let me know. And if you want me to watch a specific one, then let me know. I'll watch anything. I've been watching Crypt TV for a while. Anything, like, just let me know. And if it has cussing, then I can watch cussing, but you have to be able to listen to cussing. Okay, but and if I know your name, I can shout you out. But Kelpa of Scotland.
At
Haverty's, we know everyone puts their own twist on things. And Haverty's 4th of July sale is making it easy to find...
Hey Ottings, it's your Ate Sapphire. I know you want to get into today's episode, but before we do, I wanted to quickly tell you about one of our amazing sponsors who, without them, the show would not be possible. If you're looking for a better night's sleep, I recommend that you try a purple mattress. They're firm and soft at the same time. It's a brand new material developed by an actual rocket scientist. These mattresses will keep you supported and yet still very comfortable at the same time. And they're breathable, so you stay cool. So if you want to get a better night's sleep, try Purple for a 100-night risk-free trial. If you're not fully satisfied, you can return your mattress for a full refund. Every mattress comes backed by a 10-year warranty.
If you want to know why I keep doing this, let me know in the comments down below. Like, just let me know if you want to know. Then I'll tell you.
And is shipped to your home for free. And while they're at it,
on another video. Where you going, Agent? Oh, you still seeing the physical lasagna's hot.
Purple will set up and remove your old mattress for you as well. You're going to love Purple. And right now, our listeners will get a free Purple pillow with the purchase of a mattress. That's in addition to the great free gifts they're offering site-wide. Just text SS to 84888. Message and data rates may apply. And now, back to the show.
Lion?
Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary? The Kelpie. The following story is based on a submission from V in Scotland.
I my nails, but I love doing that.
Until I was 13 years old, I lived in a small village in Scotland. It was a very peaceful and serene area with a gentle river not too far away. I lived in a house with my mother and grandmother. I'd never met my father. I figured he left the family before I was born. Neither my mother nor grandmother ever talked about him, so I never really asked about him. It was the morning before my 13th birthday. My mom came into my room and sat on my bed. She jokingly asked if I wanted a unicorn for my birthday. Like most little girls, I had a horse phase, but I was slowly growing out of it. So I just told her that I love some more books. There actually was something that I wanted for my birthday, but I didn't think my mom would be happy about it. I'd be fine with just the books. I loved to read, after all. One of my favorite things to do was go out into the nearby forest, lean against my favorite tree, and read a book. And that's what I did later that day. I tucked my copy of Where the Red Fern Grows under my arm and walked to my spot. I was lost in my book for maybe 15 minutes when I was interrupted by a sound. It sounded like the neigh of a horse. I thought it was really odd, so I decided to see where it was coming from. It led...
Right there. Isn't that thing wait, isn't this like a unicorn? I thought that was a unicorn. I thought the Kelpie was a unicorn. Okay, we might do 3 for this round. Like this one. We might do 3. You know what I hate? When YouTubers are like, comment down below which one should I choose. But you already chose it, so how are you gonna comment down below which one should I choose if you already chose it? That's what I hate when YouTubers. Well, that's what I hate every time YouTubers does that. I just hate it.
Me to the river. Standing by the water was the most beautiful and majestic white horse I'd ever seen. Its coat was smooth and shiny. Its mane was long and luxurious. It turned its sparkling black eyes toward me, and I felt compelled to go closer. I know it sounds strange, but 12-year-old me felt as if the horse was asking me to ride it. I didn't hear the words, but I felt it inside me. It was so weird. I continued to approach the magnificent beast when I heard my mother's voice, not in my head, but echoing among the trees. I snapped out of my trance and began to walk back home, bidding the mysterious horse goodbye. At the dinner table, I told my family about the horse that I saw. They both stopped and looked at me.
Here's the music now.
Are you sure it was a horse that you saw? My mother asked. The forest can play tricks on your eyes. I'm positive it was a horse, I replied. It was so beautiful. What do you think it was doing out there? I don't know what it was you saw, but you should probably stay away from the river. It's not safe. I remember feeling really confused and frustrated by their response to my experience. Why didn't they just believe me?
Can I get some?
The next morning, I woke up to my mom singing happy birthday to me in my room. She said my grandma had gone into town for a special birthday surprise, so we would celebrate when she got back.
Oh,
My
I
mom
forgot.
asked me what I wanted to do while we waited, and I told her that I was really close to finishing my book and just wanted to do that. So I went back to my favorite spot and began to read. Moments later, I heard someone calling my name. V. Hey, V. I looked up, and there was a kind-looking woman, possibly in her 20s, peering from around a tree. "You're Douglas's daughter, no?" I cocked my head at her in disbelief and replied, "How did you know?" She smiled warmly and gestured for me to follow her. "He wanted you to have this for your 13th birthday. Come, now." I knew I wasn't supposed to follow strangers deeper into the forest. I knew that. But she knew who I was, so maybe she wasn't a complete stranger. I closed my book and followed her. She led me to the same clearing by the river I was at yesterday. And there it was, the same white horse. "It's all yours, dear. Happy birthday." The horse seemed to nod its head at me, almost as if reassuring me that, yes, all of this was true. My father was out there somewhere and sent this horse as my birthday gift. I had so many unanswered questions, but in that moment, all of my concerns sort of drifted away. The only thought on my mind was that I needed to ride that horse. It was even more gorgeous up close. As if under a spell, my hand reached out to stroke its mane. But after one stroke, I realized something was very wrong. My hand was stuck. It wouldn't come off. While I frantically tried to pry it off, I heard the woman laughing maniacally behind me. Then suddenly, a gunshot. I turned around to see the woman's body on the ground morph into the body of a dead black horse. And a few feet away was my grandmother, aiming a gun right at me with a cake box at her feet. "Please forgive me, V. Now hold still." I ducked my head and felt liquid fire tear through my fingers. She had shot my hand. I grabbed my bleeding digits with my other hand and screamed wildly. But I was free. I ran toward my grandmother while the horse's body began to shrivel and fall into the river. After my grandmother had bandaged my hand and I had calmed down, I asked her what the hell happened back there. "I am so sorry, V," she said, "but I had no choice. That Kelpie was going to drag you into the river and drown you." "Kelpie? What's a Kelpie?" They're malicious horses that live near the water. They can shapeshift into human beings to try and trick you into riding their sticky bodies. That's actually how your father died. I took a moment to let that new information sink in. But why didn't we move? Why didn't we leave this area? "Because we didn't want to believe that's what happened, V," my mother cried. We moved to the city shortly after, far away from any large body of water. I may have lost a piece of me that day, but I also got my birthday wish. I finally learned the truth.
That is scary.
Thank you to all of our patrons. If you'd like to join our VIP program, visit patreon.com/snarled. Want more Something Scary? You can hear more stories over on the Something Scary podcast, available for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. The links are in the description below. If you'd like to submit a story, send me an email at somethingscary@snarled.com. Like and share this video if it gave you the chills. And don't forget to...
Uncle Grandpa.
There's nothing to be afraid of in the dark but our own imaginations. So let's start by turning off the lights, and I'll prove to you that there's nothing to be scared of.
Sorry.
Legit, but I didn't know imaginations were so terrifying. Man, I'm scared. Well, what do you usually do when you're scared of the dark?
I scream for my mom, and she comes and turns on the lights.
Mom!
Well, that didn't work.
Maybe we should try screaming for my friends, Mr. Gus and Pizza Steve.
Your friends with a slice of pizza?
I don't discriminate. Mr. Gus!
Pizza Steve!
I guess they can't
Oh,
hear us.
sorry, I
Maybe
forgot.
we can turn the lights on ourselves. Where's that darn switch?
It's right over there.
Okay. The Art of the Kill, or Beware the Bueneka.
We've got to get all the way over there.
We are gonna watch Beware the
I hate my
Banawaka.
imagination too, but it's all right.
Okay.
We can do this with
So,
teamwork.
let's do
I need to
this.
borrow this for a sizzling second. Geronimo!
Okay. Beware the Banawaka. Oh, I don't know what it's called. It's the Banawaka. I don't know why we're doing this.
Hi, Oddings. It's your Auntie Sapphire. I have a very special offer for you from my new favorite
Thank
website,
you.
ThreadUp. So if you want to learn how to get 30% off of your first order, stick around after this episode. Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary? The Bubak. The following story is based on a submission from Anastasia. In Spain in the 1990s, there lived a 12-year-old girl named Lucia. She lived on a farm surrounded by fields with her two parents. Every other weekend or so, her parents had to go into town for different business reasons, conventions, conferences, what have you. Lucia was much too young to tag along with them, so they would leave her at home where her cousin Emily would babysit. Emily was only 3 years older than Lucia, so she would always protest. Why do I even need a babysitter? I'm old enough to watch myself. But her parents disagreed. Lucia probably wouldn't have minded this as much if she actually liked her cousin. But Emily loved to play pranks on her. She'd always try to scare her with monster stories or try to convince her that her toys were possessed. So it was a Friday morning, and Lucia's parents had left, leaving Lucia and Emily alone on the farm. Emily was going to make them breakfast, so she asked Lucia to gather some eggs from the hens. Lucia walked over to the coop and noticed something in the corner of her eye. In the middle of the field was a scarecrow. It hadn't been there before, so Lucia was positive it was just one of her cousin's pranks. She rolled her eyes and went to get the eggs. She didn't mention to Emily that she saw the scarecrow. She was just going to ignore it. The next morning, Lucia went to gather more eggs for breakfast. The scarecrow was still there in the field. Lucia chuckled to herself, entertained by her cousin's attempts to scare her. When she gathered the eggs and walked back to the house, she stopped in her tracks. The scarecrow was now much closer than it was before. Okay, that got me, Lucia chuckled to herself. She didn't notice it before because it was so far away, but Lucia was shocked by how ugly it was. She grabbed an egg and threw it at its grotesque face. She pranced into the kitchen and placed the bucket of eggs on the counter. I'll admit it, that scarecrow's pretty good, Lucia said. Emily looked up from the pan. What are you talking about? You can stop the act, cousin. How long did it take you to make that? Emily turned the stove off and wrinkled her brow. Where did you say you saw the scarecrow? It's right where you last left it, at the edge of the field. Emily rushed over to the window and looked around. Lucia skipped up behind her and looked out as well. But the scarecrow was gone. Whoa, how'd you do that? Emily hastily pulled the curtain closed and pulled Lucia to the ground, lowering her voice to a whisper. Lucia, are you familiar with the Bubak? You are unbelievable. Listen to me. It came for one of my friends not too long ago. It goes after young children. It makes a sound like a crying baby to make you come near it, and when you're close enough, it takes you and throws you in his sack to eat later. We have to stick together today. Cool story, cousin. I'm gonna go read in my room. Don't bother me until dinner, okay? So Lucia locked herself in her room and read her fantasy book on her bed. She didn't even realize she had fallen asleep until she was awoken by a sound coming from the other side of her room. It was a baby crying. Nice try, cuz, Lucia drowsily shouted into the darkness. She reached over and turned her lamp on and was startled by the figure in her room. It was the Scarecrow.
Lucia? Lucia, are you there?
A muffled cry came from behind it. Lucia spotted the large, writhing sack where the sound was coming from. Seriously, Emily, when are you going to give it up? Lucia got out of her bed and approached the Scarecrow, ready to call her cousin out. But with every step, her confidence began to wear off. The closer she got, the more details she noticed. The pole holding up its hideous body slowly began to coil like a snake. This Scarecrow was alive.
Lucia, run!
The Scarecrow revealed its raggedy arms from underneath its tattered clothes and raised them towards Lucia. She ran out of the bedroom, frantically searching for a place to hide. She could hear the blue box slithering not too far behind her. She ran into the kitchen and hid inside the smallest cupboard that she could squeeze into. And she waited. She was going to wait there for as long as she could. Her parents would be home the next morning. She was going to make it. Just then, the kitchen phone rang. It went to voicemail. Hi, Lucy. It's Mom and Dad. We actually booked a couple more meetings out here, and we thought a lot about it. And, you're right. You are a big girl, and you can take care of yourself for another day or so. And Emily, we know we only paid you until tomorrow morning, so feel free to go home. Lucy will be fine. So, just call us back at our hotel when you get the chance, okay? Love you. So I personally love ThreadUp for multiple reasons. One, I love shopping because you get to find really unique pieces. And if I'm being completely honest, the clothes that get the...
That is literally so scary. Okay, I just thought about it, and these are really scary, so I'm gonna watch one more. Okay, I might watch two more. Okay, look. It turns out there's more that I have not seen. So, should I watch My Lucky Boy, or should I watch The Art of the Kill? Well, I really want to watch The Art of the Kill next time, so I'm gonna watch My Lucky Boy.
Want to watch something scary? Of course you do. That's why you're here. And because you're a suspense and horror fan like me, I have a very special offer for you from Shudder. Shudder is the Netflix for horror. It has a unique collection of exclusive and original films and series, horror classics, and blockbuster hits. New thrillers are added every single week. You can stream everything ad-free on your favorite devices like Apple TV, Chromecast, and so much more. What I love most about Shudder is that it offers such a wide range of content, from classic collections like my favorite sassy suspense man Alfred Hitchcock to modern hits like Channel Zero, the anthology series based on creepypastas, which I know you'd love. You can stream the best horror, thriller, and suspense for $4.99 a month or $49.99 a year. But because you're a Something Scary fan, you can try Shudder for free. To try Shudder for free for 30 days, go to shudder.com and use the promo code SS. If you didn't hear, we just launched a VIP program for Something Scary. You get access to exclusive posts, videos, live streams, and so much more. As a member, you can even have a character named after you in an episode, just like our lucky patron Lana in today's story. Head on over to patreon.com/snarled to learn more. If you're like me and love scary stories, I'm sure there have been nights when you didn't sleep that well. Whether it's nightmares or an uncomfortable mattress mattress that's keeping me up, my day is nowhere near as productive as when I get a blissful night's rest. So if you're struggling to get a good night's sleep, unfortunately, I can't do anything about your nightmares, but I can recommend that you try a purple mattress. They're firm and soft at the same time, which sounds like some make-believe witchcraft, but it's not. It's a brand new material developed by an actual rocket scientist. Seriously, these mattresses are like nothing you've ever felt before. They keep you supported and yet still very comfortable at the same time. And they're breathable, so you stay cool. So if you want to get a better night's sleep, try Purple for a 100-night risk-free trial. If you're not fully satisfied, you can return your mattress for a full refund. Every mattress comes backed by a 10-year warranty and is shipped to your home for free. And while they're at it, Purple will set up and remove your old mattress for you as well. Isn't that nice of them? You're going to love Purple. And right now, our listeners will get a free Purple pillow with a purchase of a mattress. That's in addition to the great free gifts they're offering site-wide. Just text SS to 474747. The only way to get this free pillow is to text SS to 474747. That's SS to 474747. Message and data rates may apply. Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary? My lucky boy. The following is based on a story submitted by Jason, told from the point of view of his mother. I always thought my son Jason was lucky. You know, he actually wasn't breathing when I gave birth to him, but after being what the doctor claimed legally dead for almost 5 minutes, he made a miraculous recovery. And ever since then, he's narrowly escaped death countless times. When he was still pretty little, he would choke on his food fairly easily, so I'd always have to watch him closely. There were times when he'd slip out from his high chair, despite being securely strapped in. And all those times, I was right there to break his fall. I used to joke that Jason had a death wish. I began to really worry about him when he turned about 5. One night, he came running into my room, crying hysterically. "The lady is trying to get me!" "Oh, JC, it's okay. You were probably just having a bad dream, that's all." And it went on like this for the rest of the week. He refused to sleep alone in his room. Eventually, he also became afraid during the day. I would catch him muttering to himself, "Please go away." "Who are you talking to, JC?" "The lady. She won't leave me alone." Having nightmares was pretty common for a kid his age, and so was having imaginary friends. But I was starting to really worry about his mental health. He was losing sleep. He wouldn't eat. I could just feel him slowly falling apart. So I took him to a child psychiatrist. I watched from afar as Jason told the doctor about the woman who was tormenting him day and night. The doctor handed him some crayons and paper and told him to draw what the woman looked like. When Jason was done, he handed the paper to the doctor, who was visibly startled. He gestured for me to come outside the room with him to talk. "I think there's a chance your child might be suffering from schizophrenia," he said. My heart dropped. "I'd like to do some more tests with him if that's all right with you." "So you think everything he's been talking about is just a hallucination?" The doctor handed me the paper with Jason's drawing. I too was startled. My son had drawn what appeared to be a tall, thin woman with no eyes and blood dripping down from the top of her head. Her lips were completely torn off, exposing her rotting and chipped teeth. If this is who he saw every day, no wonder he was so horrified. Later that day, I called my sister. We didn't live in the same state, but we were really close and always kept in touch with each other. I was updating her on Jason, about his freaky drawing, and what the doctor said. My sister was quiet for a moment. "Sis, I know you don't really believe in this stuff," my sister said very carefully. "But how open are you to finding a more non-medical evaluation?" What the hell did that mean? She then proceeded to give me the phone number of a woman named Lana and told me to set an appointment with her as soon as possible. So that weekend, I brought Jason with me to see my sister's psychic. She was right. I didn't really believe in this sort of thing, but my sister offered to pay for the appointment, so I figured it wouldn't hurt just to see what this woman had to say. I was determined to get my son the help he needed. When we arrived at Lana's house, she greeted us at the door. She looked like she was in her 30s. Her suit was perfectly tailored to her body. Her black hair was flawlessly pulled back in a bun. She welcomed us into her home with a warm smile. I've never been to a psychic's house before, but Lana's place didn't look at all like what I was expecting it to look like. It was kind of normal. Very chic, actually. No crystal balls or animal parts in jars. Just clean, modern decor. She motioned for us to join her in the spotless living room. "You have a very lovely home," I blurted out. "Oh, thank you so much. There's just so much noise in my head that it helps to have a living space that doesn't add to the chaos." Lana looked into Jason's eyes. "And you must be Jason." She continued to stare deeply and curiously into his eyes, and the longer she stared, the more faded her smile became. "Have you ever had a near-death experience, Jason?" He shook his head, but I interjected. "Funny you asked that. He's actually had several, from the moment he was born. What can I say? He's a lucky boy." But Lana's face made it clear that she did not agree with that statement. I usually try to break information delicately for my clients, but I think I need to be frank with you. When Jason died that first time, his soul was in another dimension, and while he was there, a woman found him and decided that she wanted him to be her son. Then when Jason was resuscitated, she was left alone, and she's been trying to reunite with him ever since. This was not in any way what I had expected to hear. My sister had once told me the theory that when people have a near-death experience, they gain contact with the spirit world. But I didn't think that was true. Okay, so how do we get rid of her? How do we stop her from terrorizing my son? Lana shrugged. "You already know what she wants." We left shortly after that. I texted my sister that she wasted her money on a fraud. I decided that we were going to continue the evaluation with the child psychiatrist and go about this the right way. Later that night, Jason asked to sleep in the bed with me, like usual. But in the middle of the night, I woke up to a tapping on my shoulder. Jason was standing by the bed, looking down on me. His face was incredibly calm. "JC, is everything okay?" "I just wanted to say goodbye, Mommy." "Goodbye? Where are you going?" "With new Mommy." He gestured behind him, and for the first time, I saw her. The woman in his drawing. "Don't worry, Mommy. I'm not scared anymore." The woman held out her hand, and Jason walked over to her. I lunged out of bed and tried to grab him, but just as I reached him, he was gone. Just like that. I was a wreck. But after the reality of what had just happened sank in, I oddly felt relieved to know that he was no longer scared or suffering. I just wish I could have saved him. Just one more time. Thank you to all of our patrons.
Now that was something I call scary. Not the scariest, because I had the scariest. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I really love you guys. You know what to do. Let me know if you want me to watch any videos. And if it's Pacific or Starfire or something, just let me know. And love you guys. Bye. It's gonna take a while. Well, not really, but bye.